Now, obviously, whether you're at home, whether you're in here, or you go home and you're trying to do this for homework and you make some mistakes and you need some help, please ask me before you do something silly so we don't have to go through and try to fix everything that you've messed up, because this is really not that hard. So, number one, like I said, you have to have all your Google Docs finished before you start doing this, which is not going to be many of us, because I think a majority of us are going to spend a good portion of today working on our Google Docs, which is fine. But Fabiana, let's say you finish all of your Google Docs and you're sitting there going, Mr. Bullens, what am I supposed to do now? Well, now that you finished the Google Docs, it's time to click into the Ecosystems app creation, which will take you to this Google Sheet. Now, in this Google Sheet, it's going to have over here your biome name. I've even given you some examples of the biome names. So, again, you start looking back at all of the things that we've done. Desert, taiga, tundra, temperate rainforest, Mr. Bullens is trying to do too much at one time. Tropical rainforest, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some. Deciduous forest, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh yeah, sorry. The savanna, with an A in there, Mr. Bullens. And we'll go with the prairie. Those are both grasslands. If you do grasslands by itself, but you talk about both of those in one document, that's okay. Now, A column, is that hard? I mean, seriously, Brandon, is that hard typing the names of the biomes? No. What biomes am I supposed to do? The ones we did Google Docs on. So if you didn't do lakes and ponds or marshes and swamps, delete those and put other ecosystems in there. I happen to have done those already. What does this column say in column B? It tells you at the top this is supposed to be a short review. Look at what I did for ocean. Saltwater, marine, most biodiverse. Desert, right? Hot, dry, sandy. Do I need to get, that's super short review, right? Super short. Give me just the gist of the place. Tundra, coldest, very dry, right? Short review. Listen to what it says up here. Short review. Easy? Okay. Image is where I know that a lot of people are going to struggle because you don't follow directions. Listen to what I'm saying. So let's take estuary, for example. I'm going to open up another slide. I'm going to go to estuary. I'm going to click on images. Everything so far so good, right? Here's where people mess up. If we get super technical about this, and again, Amanda, I'm not really going to get really upset if you mess this part up. Because this part, we need to learn how to do this, but if you don't get through all this, it's okay. There are pictures on here, and you know this because you just went through those lessons with Miss Faria. You're really not supposed to just click and use any picture you want to. Now, again, most of this stuff is for personal or class use, so it's really not a huge deal. It's not. But when you start turning stuff in high school and college, and you start using things like on your own website, you kind of need to be very careful. So if you go under Tools, Usage Rights, I want the ones that have Creative Commons licenses, meaning I'm allowed to use these pictures without having to give credit, without having to give monetary things to people. They are only for me to use. Now I look through here and I think, which one of these is a good picture of an estuary to me? I kind of like this one. I see the ocean. I see where the river is, right? Click on it. Here's where you're going to mess up. Normally, Veda, you go click, save image as, right? And you move on. Copy the image address. Click copy the image address, go back into your ecosystem, and right here where it says image, you paste the image address. And you move on to the next slide. And you do the same thing. For each and every ecosystem, each biome that we worked on, you want to copy and paste the image address. Good? Yes, ma'am.
What do we do in place of lakes and ponds?
I just said if you did not do lakes and ponds, if you didn't do marshes and swamps, delete it. Some people, remember, were ahead and they were kind of waiting on everybody else, and they've already done that. So I'm leaving it in there for those people. Okay? Easy, right? That's not very hard. Do you agree with that, Anna? Copying and pasting the image address, it's the hardest part of all this, but it's not super hard, is it? Second hardest thing, Nolan, in my opinion, is this slide right here. It is very easy for me, let's say desert, to go to YouTube. Oh, I didn't pull up YouTube. Type in the word desert, and then just pick this very first thing. But this very first thing, if you look at it, is 10 hours of relaxing planet Earth sounds. It tells me nothing about the desert. This is a hard job, and you'll understand a little bit of what I get to go through when I'm making lessons. Your job is to find an informative, a good informative video on deserts. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. If it's National Geographic, you're probably in the right spot. I would imagine that's a good one. But you might watch the first 2 or 3 minutes of it and be like, this video stinks. And you keep looking, right? You keep finding things that talk about the desert's abiotic and biotic factors. Again, some of this stuff is not going to work. So you need to look through and find a good video. I'm just going to assume that this is a good video. Let's just pretend. Now listen, how do I share or get a YouTube video? Hit share. You know this. We've done this before. Copy. You go back into your Google Slides, and again, make sure you're under video. Go down to desert and Control-V, you paste it. Simple, right? So far, so good. No issues, right? You're getting videos. You're getting pictures. You're typing a short review. Yes, sir. I don't think you can just drag that video into that box. No, you need the link. I don't know. If you can drag the link and you can do it, go for it. Yes, question. No. These are two different boxes. I am not going to sit here and drag this box so large that it shows the whole thing, because that's not worth it to me. It looks like things are over top of each other, but because it looks like there's something over the Google Doc link, right? It's not. Now, next thing that I need you to do, and I'm going to have to go back into our Google Classroom to open this. I'm going to open up my exemplar document. Now, if you look, again, typing a short review, is there anybody in here that thinks that that's tough? No. Adding an image, remember, copy the image address, is that tough? No. Adding a good video, now that's where you're probably going to have to spend some time, Orphelia, is looking up good videos. Don't just add garbage videos. Look up good stuff, because last year I had people that were adding things, and it was like nature sounds of the deciduous forest. Nope. I'm taking points off for that because you did not take that serious. Google Doc link. Everybody needs to look up here for this one, though, because this one can get a little tricky. So I have my Google Doc open here. How do I give the link to my Google Sheets? Pay attention, or you're going to mess this up. Share. So far, so good. You need to check this. If it says share with Davidson County, the only people that will ever be able to use your app is someone signed into their Davidson County account on their phone. We don't want that. We want moms and dads to be able to see this, right? You click this button here, and you change it. Somebody said, what button? All right, so let me go back. Share. See this right here. Change. Do you see that? Hit the change button. I don't want it. I want anybody with the link to be able to look at my Google Doc. Okay? Make sure this says viewer. If it says commenter or editor, guess what they can do to your Google Doc? Comment or edit on it. Do we want anyone to comment or edit on the hard work that we put on those Google Docs? No. So make sure it's anyone with the link, and viewer, you can hit copy the link and hit done, and then you go back into here, and this is where you would paste that link. I know it looks like a lot, and it looks like it's straight. It's not, I promise. All right. Once you've done that for all of the biomes, then we will move into the very last step. I don't think anyone will get to this today. Can I see some of us getting to this tomorrow? Yes. You have finished adding all of the short reviews. You've added all the images. You've added all the videos. All of your Google Docs are finished, Hunter, and you've added all of the links the correct way, which is going to take a long while. I'm going to go to this website called Glide Apps. You may have to sign in or sign up. I'm just going to log in because, well, mine's already there. Once you're in Glide, you won't have any projects over here. You'll just have this button here. See all these other projects I have? You hit New Project. Now, create an app to install on any device, private by default. Create a website for content. Create an app. Continue. Name it. Like Fabiana's Ecosystem app. Collins's Ecosystem app. That way when I'm looking at them, it's a little faster for you to know who's the who's. You can make it for a tablet. You can make it to work on your computer. We all want it to work on our phone, right? Continue. You're going to get a source, Google Sheets, and hit continue. It's going to open up in your Google account. Now, if you named this the correct thing, you can search for it. There's my Google Doc, and then I hit select, and Glide does its thing, and all of a sudden I have an app made for my, which is going to be terrible because I have nothing done on there, right? When you do this part, if your pictures aren't showing up, if your short reviews aren't showing up, if you click on this and you can't access the video or the Google Docs or anything else, that's when I will be there to help you out to figure out where we went wrong, and we'll get that all fixed up. A lot of stuff to do. I think it's just a whole lot of easy little pieces to put together as we go along. Would you guys agree with that? Again, I would imagine today a majority of us are going to be spending our time typing into our Google Docs because we're not finished with that. Sound good? For the rest of us in class, we've got about close enough to 45 minutes. We'll call it 45 minutes to work on everything. Everybody good with that? We'll stop the video, smash the like button, subscribe. If you're at home, please email me with questions. I'll even, if I have to Zoom with somebody at home, I can, because this can be kind of tough to work through, and I don't want somebody to get super frustrated because the app creation part is easy, and we can get that done at any time and work together.